Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to compare English book covers to Dutch book covers. As you may or may not know, I am Dutch, I live in the Netherlands. That is why I have an accent when I speak English. But I do read all my books in English, and that's why I always have the English edition of a book, like the UK one or the US one. But of course, some of those popular books get translated into Dutch, and sometimes they get a new book cover. I always love watching those UK versus US book cover videos, and I thought, why not do one with like UK, US versus Dutch book covers? So I can maybe show you some of the Dutch book covers we have here and compare them and see which one I like the most. Bear in mind though that not every book gets translated into Dutch, and most of the books that do get translated keep the same cover as mostly the UK edition. So if you're wondering why I'm not comparing certain popular books, that's because there mostly is nothing to compare, like they have the exact same covers. But still, I did find quite a lot of cover changes, and yeah, let's just get started with this video, and then I'm going to compare Dutch book covers to English book covers. I guess I have to start with the obvious one, and that is of course Harry Potter. So here I have the current UK edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and here I have the Dutch edition called Harry Potter and de Steen der Wijzen. In this case, of course, I actually own both covers because of course I love Harry Potter and I have a lot of Harry Potter books. I also know that there are way more book covers for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in both UK editions and US editions. But if I would compare all of those, this would be a very long video, so I'm just going to keep it simple and compare these two. This is of course always going to be a hard choice because the Dutch edition is the edition which I grew up with. When I was young, when I was first introduced to the Harry Potter series, of course I read the Dutch edition because I couldn't read or speak English yet. So this book has been in our family for 16 years, I think 16 years. My mother read it to me when I was 6 years old. I've reread it countless times. So this one is always going to have a lot of nostalgic value for me. And I love this cover very much. So as you can see, you see, well, I guess it's Harry flying on a broomstick with like a night sky background. And then on the back there's a illustration of Hedwig carrying a Hogwarts ladder. And then the UK edition, of course, is very pretty and I think a lot more childlike. This one has pretty colors, pretty stars, pretty illustrations. If I would look objectively, I think I would find the UK one more beautiful. But as I said, the Dutch one means so much to me and I've had this one for so long. So in this case, I guess the Dutch edition is always going to win. Even though I love both covers very much. I love almost every Harry Potter cover very much. Yeah, Harry Potter is just my favorite thing into the world, and I love every single Harry Potter related item that I own. Next I'm going to compare Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This is the UK paperback edition and this is the Dutch edition. But the thing is, with the Dutch edition we actually have a red cover, but we also have the exact same cover in blue. There are two editions, I don't know why, but I'm going to compare it with the red edition because I think Simon should be red, like that's its signature color. But also the title in Dutch is quite different. In Dutch it's called Simon versus de verwachtingen van de rest van de wereld en zijn liefde voor blue, which would translate as Simon versus the expectations of the rest of the world and his love for blue. That is quite a mouthful. I don't know why they made the Dutch title longer, but apart from that, I actually really like the Dutch cover. It has a sort of like comic book feel to it. It's simple, but I love the font and I think it really fits with the book. I also love that there's an Oreo on the cover. That's just a fun little detail. I think in this case I actually might prefer the Dutch cover a little bit to the English cover. To me it really connects with the story because it's such a signature cover. But I really think the design of the Dutch cover maybe is a little bit prettier. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard choice, like, because I like both of them. But I think I'm going to give like this point to the Dutch edition again, but it's like a really slight difference. It's a hard choice in this case. The next book I'm going to compare is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is the UK hardback edition and this is the Dutch edition. In Dutch it's called Harteloos, which is a literal translation that means heartless. I mean, I love the US edition as well, but with the Dutch edition the details in the sort of like tree are so stunning. I love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Like, I love it very much. Definitely a point to the Dutch cover. It's a shame that I did not like this book though. Like, this was actually one of the worst books I read in 2017. And I'm also unhauling my English edition. Like, this one is going away very soon. But yeah, the Dutch edition in this case is definitely stunning. Also, a fun fact about Dutch books is that hardcover books in Dutch almost never have a dust jacket. The cover is like just printed on the actual like canvas cover, and I wish English books did that as well, because I prefer that so much. I mean, dust jackets are always really annoying in my opinion, but anyway, yeah, I'm completely in love with the Dutch edition of Heartless, but I was not in love with the book, so yeah, that really is a shame. The next book I'm going to compare is Caravel by Stephanie Garber. So here we have the UK hardback edition, and this is the Dutch edition, which is called Het Zwarte Hart, which means the black heart. Don't know why it's translated like that, but whatever. So this is not a difficult one. This is definitely the UK version, hands down. I really do not like the Dutch edition of this book. I don't know what it's supposed to like be. It's just a girl standing in a hallway looking terrified or something. There's just nothing special about the Dutch edition. There's nothing beautiful about the Dutch edition. And again, even though this was one of the worst books I read in 2017, it does have a stunning cover in the English edition. Like, it's so pretty, and it's black on front and white on the back. And it has like a beautiful naked cover as well with an illustration. Like, I'm only keeping this book because the cover is so beautiful. And the Dutch edition, definitely not. I definitely do not like that one. Even though I did not like the book, the English edition is very pretty. And the next book is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the UK paperback edition, and this is the Dutch edition. It's called Het Laatste Rijk, which is again a literal translation. So at first when I saw the Dutch edition, I was like, ooh, no, I don't like that one. But then I looked a little bit closer and I was like, okay, there's actually more detail in this cover than you would think. We see like this badass person standing on a house with like knives, and I have not read The Final Empire yet, so I don't know who this person is. So I also cannot say which cover would reflect the story the best, because I absolutely have no idea. And actually, with like a closer look, I do not think the Dutch cover is all that bad. It does have some beautiful details, but I do prefer the UK cover like so much. I love this cover. I love how it is all white with like these beautiful artwork on it. It really gives like an epic fantasy feel, and like I hope this book is going to be an epic fantasy. Yeah, I think in this case the UK edition is just way prettier. I love it. I love like the entire box set that I have. So yeah, this is a point for the English cover. I don't even know if I'm like really keeping track of points at this point in the video, but whatever. The UK version is definitely prettier. The last book I'm going to compare in this video is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is my UK paperback edition, and this is the Dutch edition. It's called De Naam van de Wind, which is again a literal translation. And yeah, I do not really hate the Dutch edition. I think it's okay, like it's not ugly or anything, but I also do not think it's anything special. So again, in this case, I definitely prefer my UK edition to the Dutch edition. I guess both of these covers like were going for the same thing, with like someone standing on the cover and then details going around. But then the Dutch edition just did a way more boring version of the UK edition, I think. This one is beautiful and like interesting, and like, I just love it very much. And then this one is okay, but not like extremely beautiful or extremely special. So again, in this case, the English edition wins. Or in any case, this UK edition. I love this one so much. And I really do think it reflects the story very well. And I guess you can also say that of the Dutch edition, like, it sort of fits, it's just way more boring and way less interesting. So yeah, this was it for my video of comparing Dutch book covers to English book covers. In the end, it doesn't really matter which cover I prefer, because I will always buy the English one, because I don't really like to read Dutch translations. They can feel very awkward, and like translated names is always very weird. But it was very fun to compare them and see how Dutch covers were different from English covers. If you like this video, please let me know, and then I might do more of them in the future. But for now, this was it for this video, and if you liked it, please go subscribe or give it a thumbs up, because I would really appreciate that. And then hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!